Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip.
Yesterday, first of all, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, Sunday, was a weird day because I only did one stream. The first stream was Wolong Fallen Dynasty. So let's do an update on this playthrough because a lot of people are wondering what's going on with me playing Wolong. Basically, the agreement that I have with you guys is as follows. You know I don't like the game. Right? I think I've made it abundantly clear publicly to everyone. I don't like Wolong Fallen Dynasty. It's funny because I was talking with a few people about it, and one person says to me, you know, it's funny because I think Wolong is the only game that could have possibly made Phil admit that Sekiro was good. I don't feel that I hated on Sekiro so much that I ever said it wasn't good. What I said was, it's probably the weakest entry from FromSoft because it's a one-trick pony game where everything is about the parry, correct? I mean, yes, there's special trick weapons or whatever they're called in that game, but for the most part, it's about parrying everything, correct? So, a lot of people felt that me kind of hating on Sekiro when I played it several years ago when it was new was unfair, but now that I'm playing Wolong, and every time I play Wolong, I'm like, man, it's not as good as Sekiro. They're like, wow, all this praise for Sekiro. Well, what it is it's comparison, correct? Right? It really is. I don't even think Sekiro is, honestly, maybe it barely hits top 5 best FromSoft games. Okay? Barely. For me, like, I really feel like Bloodborne, you know, some of the Dark Souls, and hell, even Elden Ring, I actually think are better than Sekiro, just being honest, okay? But basically, it's funny because now I'm playing Wolong, and it makes me realize how much better FromSoft is. Their games are polished, their games are well developed, everything has a designer's hand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you walk into a room in a FromSoft game, you know the enemy positions are well designed in order to add challenge, surprise, wonder, exploration. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything there is well directed. When you're playing Wolong and you walk into an area and you're like, there's an enemy over here, there's an enemy over here. Oh, enemies spawn out of nowhere and attack you from behind. Sometimes you'll walk into a room and a bunch of enemies attack. Another time you walk into a room, they don't even aggro to you. And you did the same thing twice. It's just not consistent. It's definitely reeks lack of polish compared to FromSoft. So it's funny that I'm playing Wolong and I'm calling this out and people are like, wow, you're really like kissing Sekiro's butt. It's like, no, I'm just being honest. Sekiro is a much better product than this game is. And the reason that people are really kissing Wolong's butt and saying it's an 8 out of 10 is because there's no game like this recently. Elden Ring was the last one. That was a year ago. The other ones last year, like Thymesia and shit, those sucked. So this is the first one, you know, in a while. And what it is there is definitely a community, a group of gamers that love this genre. And they have to play this game and kiss its butt. They just have to. They have to say it's so good. It's not. From an objective standpoint, me comparing apples to apples comparisons of all these style of games in the same genre, this ranks as one of the worst. It really does have lots of issues, wonkiness, lack of polish that is unacceptable. Just the fact that the draw distance in the game is so bad is one of the things that's just absolutely ridiculously unacceptable in a 2023 game. I couldn't tell you another video game I've played in the last 5 years that the draw distance is so short. Okay? That's just sad. But that's just one of the many problems the game has. Anyway, I don't like Wolong. All right? But I have this agreement with you guys that I will continue to play the game and suffer through it as long as you guys show up, watch, engage, and support. That's the agreement. If you guys continue to show up and you know, make this playthrough worthwhile for me through the suffering of me playing this game I don't like, I'll continue to play it. So yesterday was kind of the first day we had that agreement, and people showed up. They absolutely engaged and supported. It was only a one stream day, and it was awesome because people absolutely made up for that with the engagement and support on that stream, and I really appreciate that. Because, you know, not having 2 streams, it can hurt, and it was good. It was very good, okay? As for the gameplay, I mean, it pissed me off. You know, I'm doing a stage where you're on a river. Your goal is to cross the river, get inside of this temple, and fight a boss. Well, the river is just a bunch of boats. And the way to get across the river is a bunch of platforming, unhooking other boats that create shortcut platforms and things like that. But if you fall off a boat, you lose your entire health bar. You do respawn with 0 health. Now you have to heal yourself using healing items, or else if you get hit one more time, you're dead and you got to start over. The problem is, they sadly just don't put many or any checkpoints on the river. I think there's one. So you have a checkpoint before the river, then a bunch after. So you have to do the whole river in one go. And of course, it gets easier as you unlock these shortcuts. But the problem is, it's not FromSoft. If this were FromSoft, they would have done it well. They don't do it well. They've got cheesy ass areas with insta-kill deaths you can't avoid. They've got enemies. I was walking on a boat, and there was a jump. I shit you not. As I'm about to jump, an enemy popped in because of the bad draw distance. It was a mage. The mage proceeded to throw a fireball that, as I'm in mid-jump, hits me in the air and makes me fall into the gap. Well, if the fucking mage had been there, I would have known not to jump and get hit by the fireball. But it wasn't there till I was jumping. The game is so poorly designed. I don't know how people could defend the game and be like, oh, 8 out of 10. That's objectively wrong. It's just frustration to no end when you've played so much better. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday's major frustration for me was just getting across the river and getting... The checkpoint is in a room with a mini boss, several small guys, and snipers, but to get there, you had to cross the whole river. So how do you have enough healing to even beat this room? It's just everything's set up to piss you off. Like, literally, it's just designed to piss you off. It reminds me of the Neo DLC. Neo 1 had a DLC expansion. And after having beaten the entire base game and liking it, I hated the DLC expansion. Why? Because literally, here's what the game dev said. We've given up on effort. We're not putting any effort into this DLC. We're just going to literally put as many cheap shit deaths and enemies stacked up against you as possible. You try to survive it. That's all we care about. It's blatant bait to try to say, oh, we stacked on as much as possible. But did you actually test it? Did you polish it? Did you see if it's fair or entertaining? Or did you just throw shit into there? And that's how the DLC felt. That's exactly how this whole fucking game feels. It doesn't feel like anything has a guided designer's hand that says, oh, here's a fun challenge. Here's a fun room we set up. It's just, here's a bunch of shit. Just fucking deal with it. If it works or not, we don't really care. And that's sad. So, I really don't like the game, but I'm toughing through it. So yesterday, I beat an entire story stage. I did 2 side quest stages, and then I beat the half of another story stage. Now, this game has 16 story stages. As of now, I've beaten 10 and a half. If I beat a stage and a half every stream, if you do the math, okay, that technically means likely we've got like 4 or more streams left. Yes, I know. 4 more streams of Wola. Oh my God, you'll be playing this for weeks. Yeah, I know. I know. Listen, I know. I hear you. I'm there with you. It's a game of suffering. But again, since people are showing up and supporting, I'm going to keep playing it. If that changes, it would be hilarious if I get to the end and then like the game dies. I'd be like, what did I waste my time on? Right? But I guess we'll see. Hopefully that's not the case. Okay. I sincerely hope that's not the case. And I sincerely hope that, the game continues and maybe there's a payoff at the end. Maybe there's an amazing ending. There's not going to be an amazing ending. Spoiler alert. There's absolutely no way with a game like this. There's no way. But I'll keep going. All right. So anyway, the stream, I would argue the stream went well. You got what you wanted. You got the rage out of me, which is what you want out of this playthrough. And it was well engaged, well supported. Everything was good on that stream. Okay.
Go. I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.